Nctv45, The Train, anytime on your time. The Cedars is a great restaurant with outstanding Mediterranean food. The Cedars takeout menu is second to none, featuring pizza, stromboli, hoagies, their famous lamb on the rod, and so much more. So when you're hungry and you want that Newcastle taste, make it Cedars. Now with 2 locations in Newcastle, 827 Addis Street on the east side and 1101 Highland Avenue. Call Cedars East 724-658-9260 or Cedars North 724-652-7657. RNA Screen Printing Newcastle is the place to go for signs, shirts, hats, vinyl lettering, embroidery, magnets, vehicle lettering, banners, window decals, and they can put your design on many items. They have decals for vehicles and signs for all your advertising needs. Great selection of sizes and styles of regular or glitter t-shirts. RNA can iron on a logo while you wait and can do any school logo. RNA Screen Printing, 1217 Moravia Street, Newcastle, open Monday through Friday 9 to 4. Call 724-652-2241.
The Beanery Depot and Deli. Coffee, made-to-order subs, snacks, and more. Meatball sandwiches, fresh and hot. Pepperoni rolls, fish sandwiches, chicken, milkshakes. The Beanery Deli. When you're hungry for something special, and it won't cost you a lot of beans.
Welcome to the Cedars Sports Corner, everybody. I'm Alex DeLaverson, and Greg Bachero and James Dotson have the show off today. So I'm going to be running things, and I think it's safe to say that the thing that's freshest on everyone's mind right now was the Memorial Day victory for the Pittsburgh Penguins against the Nashville Predators. All I could say is, wow, what a game that was. I think the biggest factor in that game, the biggest momentum changer, was the challenge that took place 7 minutes and 3 seconds into the first period with the offsides call that reversed a goal by P.K. Subban. And
now I'm being forced to sit down.
I want to know, and please email me, if you think that game or Game 7 with Ottawa, double overtime, puck going over the net, was more exciting than Game 1 of the Stanley Cup.
I would say this Monday night's game wasn't so much exciting as it was stressful. And the reason why is because in the back of every Pens fan's mind was, they're going to blow this. Up 3 goals. They were up, 3-0. They were up 3-0. And thanks to the offsides call that reversed that goal, the Penguins scored 3 in a row, smooth sailing. The Penguins did not get another shot off for 37 minutes.
Excuse me. But here's what you don't realize in very important traditions that these viewers already know. Folks, the blue shirt, it's on. You won't see the black and gold shirt until game time. That's been the key in us winning. When I wear the black and gold shirt through the segments,
so really it's you.
We've lost.
So
there was no doubt in my mind. I was thoroughly confident of the victory.
Well, so let me get this straight. Every time the Pens have lost then in this playoff,
I wore the black and gold shirt through the segments.
Okay.
So I stopped doing that.
Well, no more then. No more. So now we know.
Blue shirt.
So if they lose any games during this series, we know who to blame. So the pressure's on, man. But with all seriousness, though, it to me, 37 minutes without a shot. That's absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know if it's something where they were looking for the perfect shot too much, if they were just kind of in that mindset where you take the foot off the pedal. I am so against playing not to lose. I am so afraid when my favorite teams go up big early, because it's just tendency and human nature to kind of easy up on the gas.
Well, now, the Pens have a habit, if you would, of easing back on the pedal at times. When the Pens lose a game, it's because they're not attacking.
Absolutely.
They're getting themselves pinned up against the boards. Nobody is in the middle of the ice. And I mean the middle of the ice long ways, going, up and down. That seems to be where they went. After getting up 3-0, they went to the boards. The middle of the ice was open. And they didn't decide to take control of the middle of the ice till the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and ultimately, I'm going to actually, this is going to be a sacrilege, actually agree with Mike Milbury in the sense that the Predators, for the most part, outplayed the Penguins. And
no.
Listen, 11 shots total for the Pens Monday night. You make 5 of them. That never happens. God bless them for having the skill that they do on that team, because I feel like any other team gets dominated in a game like that.
Now, outplayed is a strong word, and I don't think outplayed is the word you want to use, because in sports you have an offense and a defense, and I just feel as though the Pens' defense was actually playing better than the offense, and the offense didn't get it in gear until they made certain adjustments.
Yeah, and I would agree with you there. I mean, they only gave up one even strength goal all game. And that's pretty significant, albeit the potential to be a very costly one. But we'll talk more about the Penguins in the next segment. And then also in the show, we're going to be talking about the best rivalries in all of sports and some of the best and worst traditions in sports. So now a word from our sponsors.
Come to Big Polly's Sports Bar in Newcastle.
The place is spacious with all the seating you'll need, with 2 bars and a huge menu that features wings, pizza, sandwiches, burgers, pasta, and fries.
Big Polly's
Is just right to watch the game. You'll love the sports memorabilia throughout the bar. There's plenty of parking too.
Big Polly's Sports Bar
In Newcastle at 207 East Long Avenue. Call 724-658-8800. That's 658-8800. Gentlemen, if you want to look your best with high-quality clothing, then I recommend Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors in downtown Newcastle. Mike Caggiano is the owner, and he and his staff have been in the business for decades, and they will always give you the right recommendations. They also carry Rondinelli tuxedos. That's Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors, 210 East Washington Street, downtown Newcastle. Call 724-652-3851.
Welcome back to the Cedar Sports Corner, everybody. Alex Laverson here, and we are now going to talk about some of the best and worst traditions in all of sports. And the reason for that is because there's been a lot of noise since Monday night about the whole catfish situation, where a Nashville fan thought he would be cute by throwing a catfish onto the ice at the PPG Paints Arena. Now, listen, obviously, traditions like these have been around for a while. It's not the first time a Nashville fan has thrown a catfish onto the ice. Detroit fans are known for throwing octopuses onto the ice. It's not just a Nashville exclusive thing. And I think traditions like that can be pretty cool at sometimes. I think it makes sports. Like even with the semifinals before the Stanley Cup, it's tradition not to touch the Welsh Trophy. You know, it's kind of like, oh no, a curse could happen, or it's bad luck. Yeah, I'm not, arguing for or against that. Traditions like that, I feel altogether are kind of cool, but I also feel like it could be kind of a hassle and even kind of dangerous to an extent. I think of dangerous traditions such as the West Virginia Mountaineer fans burning couches.
Well, that's not an honored tradition. That's violence. There's difference between.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying.
There's difference between violence, okay, if you would, and an honored tradition. Mm-hmm. An honored tradition of a catfish going onto the ice, they have certain time when they throw them. Mm-hmm. They have certain time when they throw the squids, the octopus on the ice.
That could be physically violent if, a fan doesn't give his best throw, hits someone in the back of the head with a catfish. I know that can be kind of ticky-tacky. I'm just saying.
Are you saying something could be fishy?
Good one. Yeah. But actually, pretty is a good one. But either way, more often than not, nothing bad's going to happen from that. But it's a hassle. You're going to go out of your way to carry a catfish that stinks. How no one noticed that, I don't know. I don't get it.
There was a lady in front of him.
Oh.
a little more humor there.
I guess so. But I mean, I don't they pat them down. I guess they're not really thinking to check for,
Who
catfish.
checks for catfish?
That's what I'm saying. But to me, that seems like too much work.
I wouldn't be one that's bringing fish to a game to throw it onto the ice.
One tradition that I really like, and I know that you appreciate, and I think that's great, is Touchdown Jesus.
Now that really isn't a tradition. That's a image. Okay, a tradition would be the band playing on the steps of the administration building, the pep rally the night before the game, marching to the stadium from the ACC. Those are like traditions. In Clemson, I think it's the Rock they have.
Yeah, they touch the Rock. Well, no, Notre Dame will touch that play like a champion sign
today.
Yeah, things. Yeah, pretty cool. Things like that.
Those are traditions without any harm. One year at the end of the game, they're going to the Orange Bowl and they threw oranges on the field. Sometimes high school playoffs are going to Hershey and they throw the Hershey Kisses on the field. That can be dangerous. Mm-hmm. However, and squid and fish, I don't think you have to throw anything. There are other traditions. At the end of the game, singing the alma mater in front of the band. Good tradition.
Hat trick, you throw your hat on the ice. I mean, I wouldn't want to.
Well, I wouldn't want to throw my hat.
Yeah.
It could be cold on the way home.
Yeah, someone could take it out of the box after the game. I mean, unless you come prepared and you're purposely wearing a really run-down hat. That
There you go.
Yeah, so things like that, overall don't bother me, I would say. But Regardless, I would say that it could still be disruptive to the game. It could really disrupt momentum, which is, a reason why they do that. But that's a conversation, I suppose, for another day. But we're going to take another break here, and we'll come back for our last segment of the show. We're going to talk about the best and worst rivalries in sports. So now, a word from our sponsor.
If you want to score big, then get over to Shenango Auto Mall. George Fiacco, General Sales Manager, and his experienced staff will be glad to talk to you about all the amazing used car deals from their huge inventory. Lifetime powertrain warranties, extended warranties, and guaranteed credit approval. They have a body shop and full detail shop. It's not your normal used car lot. They also buy cars, trucks, and SUVs. Shenango Auto Mall is located at 2515 Elwood Road in Shenango Township. Call 724-698-7304.
The Branding Iron Bar and Grill, a great place to gather.
Some examples from the menu: 45-cent jumbo wings with 30 different kinds of sauce, meatball sub and fries, $5.50, hot cheese balls and burgers, and delicious large sandwiches. Stop in during happy hour, 4:30 to 7:30. You can dine in or take out. The Branding Iron Bar and Grill is located at 2221 Ben Franklin Highway, Edinburgh. Call 724-658-1210.
Welcome back to the Cedar Sports Corner, everybody. Alex DeLaverson here again. And to wrap this show up, I decided I'd like to talk about, even with our producer, Mr. Angelo Parada, some of the best rivalries in all of sports. And what got me thinking of that was the fact that now the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be in their third NBA Finals appearance facing off against each other. And I feel like this is a great rivalry. This has now happened. LeBron versus Steph Curry and Durant.
Not the greatest rivalry.
Well, right now, I would say,
No,
in the NBA.
the greatest rivalry of all time anywhere is the game.
Michigan
The
and
game,
Ohio State?
Don't say swear words.
Oh, okay.
This would be Notre Dame and USC, entitled The Game. More times than in any other series has that game determined who will play for the national title.
Interesting.
It was a compromise between the coaches' wives. That's why when the game's in South Bend, it's in October, because the boys from California, they get a little chilly. Okay? And when it's out on the West Coast, the game happens to be in late November. It's the greatest rivalry in all of college football and probably in all of sport. Now, there are some that come close. Probably Baltimore, that's the Cleveland Brown leftovers, that play the Steelers. Close.
That's the thing with that. That's a two-game series. That's a two-game event in the, through the course of the season. They're guaranteed to play each other twice a year. And now, of course, like right now, Golden State and Cleveland, they play.
They're guaranteed to play themselves at least 4 times.
Yeah, but still, it's an overall thing. I would say the intensity right now and the way that rivalry has everyone wrapped up, I would say it's the greatest right now in terms of getting everyone emotionally invested and everyone debating against each other.
I don't feel so much, but maybe it's because I'm not a big Cleveland sports fan.
Well, you're not expected to be, although the Cavaliers are technically the home team since we don't have an NBA team and they're the closest.
I thought a lot about that. Since I pay taxes in the state of Pennsylvania, I guess I have to be for the 76ers.
I know.
But if we talk about tradition, then my team's the Boston Celtics.
the Celtics have the most NBA championships in history, I believe. Maybe the Lakers might be tied with them. However, I do know that the Celtics have went to like 10 NBA finals in a row, like during the 50s or 60s or whatever. But in terms of right now, I definitely think USC, Notre Dame is at the top. Michigan, Ohio State, again, sorry for swearing, we'll have to bleep those out later. Just because of their enormous fan bases, that's, a top rivalry. What do you think are some of the most overrated rivalries in all sports? I think the Steelers and Browns are actually really overrated. Because the Browns basically give the Steelers, for the most part,
the Steelers and Browns, they're trying to make something out of nothing because the Browns haven't been the Browns since they moved to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Green Bay and Chicago, the Bears have had nothing of late, but that doesn't mean that a rivalry goes away.
Mm-hmm.
I think rivalries stay in place, and you could go through dormant stages in a rivalry. Notre Dame and USC went through a dormant stage. It was called Jerry Faust. Where it just didn't work. Then Lou Holtz came along, and that was the dormant period for the Trojans. Okay. But see, it's a rivalry when your rival always gives you a gift. Like in '77 with Dan Devine, he had them wheel in the Trojan horse for the game. And the Irish came out in their green jerseys. Now that's a rivalry.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'll let you wrap it up.
All righty.
Go
well,
Irish.
One thing I'd like our listeners to do is, under the comments section of our video, let us know what some of your favorite rivalries are, some of the rivalries that you think are overrated. Those are the things I like to hear. I like to get discussion going. I love to get sports debate going. But we're going to call it a day here, and I want to thank all of you for tuning in and watching us today, and I hope you all root very hard for the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. Thank you.
This program furnished by Sporting Goods, 23 East Washington Street, Newcastle. Call 724-658-2535. Funding for this program provided by Washington Center Physical Therapy, Norm A. Gabriel, MSPT, ATC owner.